So welcome to this special service today, where we just take a break from the flurry of activity and take the time to acknowledge the array of feelings that may arise during this holiday season. For my part today, I'm focusing on grief and loss. Our culture isn't very adept or comfortable dealing with either. We are not taught the ways to navigate it more skillfully. In my own past, I tucked it away. I hid it. I stuffed it. And only later did I see how that had affected my life. I understand why sometimes we hesitate. Do we need a service like this? Is it going to be a downer? Or shouldn't we only be focusing on the positive? Well, it's much more complex than that. Francis Weller's recent book, In the Absence of the Ordinary, Soul Work for Times of Uncertainty, he underscores the importance of embracing grief. Weller reminds us grief is more than an emotion. It is a core faculty of being human. It is completely unavoidable. Everyone experiences loss at some point. And clearly, holidays especially remind us of those losses. The person who isn't at the Thanksgiving table this year, the death of a friend, a pet, or a family member, a divorce, the end of a job that we loved, having to downsize, a diagnosis that shifts our lives forever, changes in our mental or physical capacities, and the list lengthens. We consciously and unconsciously experience many things in our lives that arrive through the hallway of loss. And right now, perhaps this recognition is more urgent. Our losses likely are not only personal, but collective. Weller asks us to acknowledge the way in which national and global conditions can be part of the emotional, spiritual, energetic mixture inside of us. As he starkly puts it, and I warn you, it is a stark reminder, now is a time of gravity and extremes as we witness the hottest temperatures on record, inflamed political discourse, the fraying of social bonds, and the emerging reality of widespread species extinction. How can we bear this? All of it. And yet, Weller reminds us, and Ahava reminds us, and so many things around us remind us that this is no time for despair. Weller begins with affirming what we learn here at Ahava. He urges us to individually and collectively embrace our sorrow and fear, to step into them with kindness and love, with tenderness and compassion. On reflection, I began to realize that we benefit most when we include grief and loss into our welcomed array of feelings and emotions during this time or any time. Weller reveals that so much happens in the approach we take to our feelings. And the point I think that affected me the most was he said, approach these feelings that come up with reverence. And he capitalizes R, with reverence, grounded reverence. Kindness, yes, but reverence gave me pause until it sank in. Imagine at the very moment of pausing to be with our emotions is actually deeply sacred, holy. We slow down. We honor ourselves. In doing this approach of reverence, we cultivate patience and self-love. Now, Keller explains that there is even alchemy, and that's probably my phone. Oh, well. No, it's not. Mine's on silence. There is even alchemy in this spiritual practice. The gentle and loving ways we engage our emotions help them stay more fluid and open to change. He explains, think about that. Making friends with our emotions can not only reshape us in ways we never imagined, it can result in a truly transformative practice, daily practice for all of us. And this is not just for ourselves alone. Weller believes that, quote, we possess the profound capacity to metabolize sorrow into something medicinal for our soul and the soul of the community. And the community is both essential and universal. It goes far beyond these walls, all the way to global transformation. Weller does not speak lightly of these things. This effort takes courage, individual and collective. It takes time. It takes a willingness to feel the pain and also hold the beauty at the same time. Recalling the words of William Blake, the deeper the sorrow, the greater the joy. So it was tempting to give a couple hours to this book, but I'm not going to do that. But I am going to read a short poem that he uses. And this is an unnamed poet from the 12th century, I believe. Yes. 'Tis a fearful thing to love what death can touch, to love, to hope, to dream, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools, this love, but a holy thing, to love what death can touch. Thank you.
D'Amato, and my pronouns are she, her, and so are Patty's. She's so When I was a little girl, Christmas was magical, and it still kind of holds that magic for me. My mom would search for gifts all year. And she always found the right thing, perfect thing. And that just was really magical and mysterious, special. But it was also a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure for her and, all of us to have this wonderful, beautiful holiday. I love the lights, too. I love the lights of Christmas, and I used to lay under the Christmas tree. Did you do this? Yes. After it was set up, I'd even take my glasses off because I wear contacts now, but that made it even more magical because it was just this blur of light and just soak it in. And I love that about this year. I love how we tend to add more light to fill up our longer nights this time of year. And Christmas was magical, and it still is for me, but it also, when I was a little girl, was full of an undercurrent of tension. And there was it was kind of like a time bomb, honestly. There was, first of all, this desire under this kind of human yearning for this ideal of it's got to be perfect. And that can cause so much frustration. It's like when you bake a cake or you try to bake a cake and you have this vision of what it's going to look like, and then you pull it out of the oven and it collapses. Nailed it, right? But I have some very gut-wrenching memories of this time of year because, partly because of that undercurrent of it's got to be perfect and the stress around that, but my parents were also not happily married, and I don't know how long or how they stayed together as long as they did. So that was part of it, and my mom struggled on and off with depression when I was a little girl, and I didn't understand that as well, of course, back then. And so, and all of those things are magnified, right, by this time, by the season, by the holidays, by knowing that family's coming over and you want to make it perfect. So for me, this season brings a lot of that back. And I guess I shouldn't have been surprised to find myself repeating this pattern of striving for perfection and wanting to make it perfect. So there's been more than once that I've been sitting on the floor and surrounded by wrapping paper and ribbons and my to-do list that's only a third crossed off and just in tears over it and trying to let go of that perfect ideal that goes with that deadline of December 25th for me. That ideal and that yearning to be perfect. Jenna, I don't know if you remember this, but you said something once to me, and I think it was a choir practice that we had here at Ahava. It was several years ago. And we were trying to make the songs perfect. And they were not perfect yet. They needed some practice. It was a frustrating practice, I think, for everybody. But afterwards, Jenna turned to me and said, as she's so good at doing, she said, "But Kim, isn't it all just perfect anyway?" Do you remember that? And you did. And like you do, you reminded me of the core of our truth right there and then. And yes, it is all perfect. So I wore my I'm perfect, imperfect shirt today to remind myself that. Can you repeat that again to the mic? Yes, yes, I can. I wore my imperfect shirt today. It says or I'm perfect, imperfect. Because our daily human life might not appear to be perfect, but life with a capital L is perfect. So I wanted to remind myself of this season. And if you needed to hear it, then I hope that helped you too. I have this saying that it's on a little block in our house, and it says, "Life isn't perfect, but love doesn't care." And I bought that as a Christmas gift for somebody a few years ago and kept it for myself because I felt like I really needed it. So yes, life with a capital L is perfect, just as it appears and just as it appears not. Thank you, life. Ernest Holmes says that perfection is our real state of being. It is not something we have to create. It's not something we have to earn. We can't bake our way into it. Just by being alive, we are perfect and whole. And today I also wanted to start our service with Joni Mitchell's song, River, because that reminds me of, it just sums up for me sometimes the melancholy that can rise up in myself this time of year, and all of the maybe regrets or people that I miss or mistakes I've made over the years. And so today is a chance to just honor all of that stuff that comes up and those people, our loved ones, that we might be missing, or we might be grieving, or we might be watching them change before our eyes. And honor those feelings. And so you probably noticed we gave you a slip of paper, and we're going to be using that soon for the honor ceremony. And we'll kind of lead you into a short meditation with that, and then start the honor ceremony in a little bit. But just a reminder that, there is just a lot mixed together, and it's side by side, right? The heartbreak and also joy. And then there are those holy moments when we get to slow down and connect. I got to experience one of those at Thanksgiving this year. After, of course, everything was done. We finally slowed down and just really got to connect. There's extra light in this season, like our beautiful candlelight service coming up. Standing by the fire in the fireplace, watching the snow, which lights up the whole world. I invite you this season, whenever you can, to take the time it takes for yourself and to come back to your center. I invite you to talk to yourself and say, I love you, I'm listening. I love you, and I'm listening. And ask your spirit and your body, how can I love you better? And this will, of course, ripple out and help us be present for those we love as well, and for ourselves. So this year, I want to remember that above all else. And even if I don't get everything wrapped just the way I want, or start the song with the capo on just the way I want, that perfect is still our very innermost state of being and our truth. Thank you. wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let it be. We're going to get ready to start our honor ceremony in just a minute. And so I just invite you, first of all, to take a couple centering breaths and just settle in. And just allow your chair to support you. Allow your body to relax and your mind to settle. As you inhale, all the love that you've felt today, all the peace in this room, and take some big exhales out as we just let it be. And on your strip of paper, you have kind of a sentence stem to help you prepare something that you might want to say. It's optional. You don't have to speak when you come up. But we will be inviting you to come up and pick a stone that honors something you'd like to honor. It could be a person. It could be a feeling. It could be both. So think about what you might want to acknowledge and honor. And if you want to jot it down, as you have it, it might look something like this. I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, remember the people and changes in my life and in my country that I am grieving. And then you can take the stone back with you and put it somewhere precious to you.
Thought was that we could move this way or even that way. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just coming in this way so that you can walk behind the stones and pick your stone. When you're ready. And if you need a pen or the pencil you have is now broken, just come up. We have more.
I choose this stone to honor my mom, who's in spirit. And whenever somebody would go on a trip, she would say, oh, will you bring something back for me? And they would say, well, what do you want me to bring back for you? And she'd say, a rock. So it's a good touchstone for me. Thank you.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, remember my most authentic self who has walked through the rains down upon me and remained true to me.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember that it is all working out for me.
If you want me to hold it for you, I can.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, remember. I remember my Aunt Elizabeth Wyrick that passed away back in March of this year, March 18th, 2025. She's been gone a few months now, but she's in a better place. She ain't coming back to this earth. I know that. I remember my dad, Danny Edmund but he's been gone 11 years, going on 12. My cousin Todd that died in 2020 of a drug overdose, but I'm going to say a little positive note at the end. I'm glad that I get into films with my favorite genre, and I'm going to be finally moving on to a career I wanted to do. That's because you only get one life to live. You don't know when you're going to go. You got to be ready, but at the same time, live your life to the fullest.
She's handing out the stones, maybe easier, but do come up when you get your stone.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember the love I did have for my ex-husband, the hope and dreams I had for our life together that I now grieve.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember my mom and dad. They're no longer with us. They both passed within like 9 months of each other a few years back. I grieve their unconditional love, and I'm trying to hold the same space with my kids in my life. So.
I choose this stone, which is perfectly imperfect, to honor, acknowledge, and remember those who have lifted me up, opened doors, offered counsel, imparted wisdom, and sparked hope and inspiration in me, never knowing the lasting impacts it would make possible.
choose this stone to acknowledge and remember that no matter what life looks like out here, that the only truth is love.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember my friend Danny as his family goes through this holiday season for the first time without him.
I choose this stone to honor Joyce, my dear, dear friend Joyce, who many of you know and love with me as things are changing for her now. But I am here at Ahava because she would always say, Christine, are you going to come to Ahava? So I am here to honor her. And please keep her in your prayers. Thank you.
I choose a stone. I honor my parents. They've been gone for a long time. I was an orphan. They died 2.5 months apart. My siblings and I were orphans very fast. And we have each other, but that's not the same as having your parents. And I choose this stone to honor all of you all. You all have no idea how important you are to me, even though I haven't been here in a long time. And mostly, I choose this stone to honor me because 2 months ago, I almost died. I almost died 2.5 months ago, and I'm here. And I love life, but 2 months ago, I almost wasn't. So I honor my parents, Ahava, and myself.
Hi, everybody. I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember my brother Jeff and the little boy in me who still struggles to allow his grief from his loss. It's like split. Heal it.
I choose this stone to honor all those who taught me love and wisdom.
Hello, all. I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, remember Steve Forsyth, my cousin who is 6 months younger than I am. He passed in 2002. I visited his grave the first time this year in May. He lives on in love, life, and peace in my heart.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember my mother who's been deceased for many years.
I choose this stone to honor, acknowledge, and remember Rose Yanez, who called me last night to let me know that her life is ending soon. A life of courage and beauty, compassion, tenderness, good humor, and that. I choose this stone to honor my eternal family, ever and forever alive.
I choose this stone to remember Nancy Ruger, who was a practitioner here and my best friend. She was funny and silly, and we went camping together, and she always made the fire, and sometimes there was an argument over that. And this is all true. When I hurt, she lifted me up. She held me. I miss her so much.
So I wanted to invite you, even if you didn't want to say anything, feel free to pick up a stone later if you'd like. Is there anybody else that we missed? Okay. I think we're onto your step.
I can see what's.
Time for prayer. Breathing into this moment and knowing the depth of our emotions, knowing the truth of our lives, knowing that there is only one. There is nothing outside this one. Today, I know it as peace. I know it as love. I know it as freedom. And I know it as power. And knowing that that is the truth of the one, it has to be the truth of me. I am all of those qualities. And in this moment, I speak my word for all of us here. We are truly, at the core of our being, love. We often say love is always the answer. Love is at the center of the being of each of us. I know too that we are peace. Beautiful peace. That peace that can wrap us up like a warm blanket. this prayer to Practitioner Kim.
And so I just breathe into that peace, that perfect flowing peace that is our very truth. And I breathe that in, steep in it like tea, and just know it as the very core and the very center of each and every person here. Each of us is peace that is overflowing, that is our molten center. Even in the midst of busyness and what might feel like chaos, even in the midst of fear or doubt, that the peace that Spirit is ever present as our truth. That this peace and this overflowing love are the truth of each person and of this beautiful place that we call Ahava. And I also know power. The power that is Spirit powered. And that this power knows no obstacle, no threat. It needs no defenses. There is nowhere that it does not flow because it is the power of life with a capital L, of life itself. And it is that perfectly flowing life. It is the power that can move mountains. It is that inner power that gives us the freedom to choose at every single moment. At every single moment to say, I love you, I'm listening. And how can I love you better? And so I simply give thanks to be here with Practitioner Patty, to be here in our community. I give thanks to be able to speak this word. I'm grateful to my very bones as I release this prayer to the law, knowing that what each beloved here seeks them. And I let it be by saying, and so it is.